Wisdom in the whip, wisdom in the whip, wisdom in the whip. This is wisdom in the whip. Why wisdom in the whip? Because I got a lot of drive, a bunch of ambition. See, I ain't gotta lie. Wisdom in the whip, wisdom in the whip, wisdom in the whip. This is wisdom in the whip. Welcome back to Wisdom in the Whip. It's your boy Ariel, right? And we about to finish up my story part 3, right? I'm telling my story. I'm telling the truth about how I grew up. I'm telling the truth about what I experienced. I'm telling the truth about why I am who I am today, right? Just so you guys get a little bit of information about, who is this guy? Why he trying to teach people? Why he trying to talk to people? Why he trying to be a positive role model? Why he trying to be influential? Why he trying to change the world? Why he's trying to change himself, right? For all of those with questions, trying to figure out who I am and what I do, I'm telling you right now, my story, this is my story. This is my story part 3, right? My story part 3. And we about to wrap this thing up. We about to get to the current stage of my life where I'm at right now so that we can get on to the topics about other things, about a lot of controversial things that's going on the internet right now, right? That needs to be addressed. That needs to be addressed from a Christian perspective. That needs to be addressed from a righteousness perspective. That needs to be addressed from a biblical perspective, right? So let's get into my story so we can wrap this thing up. And if you did not listen to my story, I talked about first how I grew up while I went to college. Then I talked about my experience in college and then my experience of starting entrepreneurship. So I talked about how I graduated Genesee Community College. My mom went to jail, so I had to go home and take care of my little brothers and sisters. And I already had a job, but I wanted to continue my education, so I went to Syracuse University. Got my bachelor's degree from Syracuse University in Child and Family Studies. Had such a great time, loved it, learned so much, right? Going to college really helped shape my life. Going to college really helped me be a critical thinker. It really helped me be disciplined. It really helped me be consistent in the journey, because college is a 4-year process to get your bachelor's degree. College is a 2-year process to get your associate's degree. I ended up getting my bachelor's and my associate's in about 5.5 years, right? So that's 4 years plus 2 years, which is a little bit late, right? Because the 2 years at community college should have transferred over when I went to my bachelor's degree. So I should have did 2 years at the associates, 2 years at the bachelor's, and then got my bachelor's in 4 years. But that did not happen because a lot of my credits didn't transfer. So I had to do a lot of credits. I had to do a lot of different things. But I appreciate the process in itself because it helped me be a critical thinker. Like I said, it helped me be a good decision maker. It helped me get a lot of experience and let me be observant about who to talk to, who to deal with, why not deal with them. It just showed me so much about humans, and it just showed me so much about life. So college is a good experience if you use it the right way, if you use it for a network, if you actually get the education and then bring it back to your community. Because that was my thing. My thing was like, I'm in college because my brothers can't be in college. They in the hood, they in the street. So somebody got to go to college, get the information, then bring it back to hood, teach the people in the streets so that they can stay out the streets, so that they can get out of their situations and their problems and then change their lives, right? So somebody had to make the sacrifice, and I believed that was me. I believe I had to make that sacrifice so that I can go back and teach the brothers, teach the sisters, and then teach their children, right? Even if they didn't want to change their life. If my peers who was in the hood, who was drug dealing, shooting, gang banging, doing all these criminal activities, robbing, all that, right? If I could not reach them, it's okay, because I always knew in my head, I'm going to be able to reach their children, right? So if I can't change you, I'm going to change your children because your children are more influential. Your children aren't as dug in deep as you. Your children aren't as rooted as you in that mentality, in that mindset, right? So once you get rooted in the mentality, once you get rooted in the mindset, it's very hard for you to break the cycle. It's very hard for you to disengage from that community. It's hard for you to disengage from that mindset and that way of life and that thought process, right? So I'm like, even if I can't get my brothers who I love or my sisters who I love who's struggling in the street, I'm not talking about my brothers like blood brothers, even though I love them too. And I'm not talking about my blood sisters, my sisters who I grew up with, even though I love them too. I'm talking about the people in the hood, the people who's struggling, the people who are on Section 8, the people who are on food stamps, the people who are arguing, fussing and fighting, the people who are going through domestic violence, the people who are not developed socially, emotionally, mentally, professionally, and personally, right? I'm talking about those people who don't even know they're struggling, right? It's people in the hood who's struggling, but they don't know they're struggling. They don't know it's better. They don't know other routes and avenues exist because they believe it's not for them, right? I'm talking about those people. I wanted to change life for those people. I wanted to help bring life to those people. I wanted to help bring solutions to those people. I wanted to help bring positivity and courage and motivation and inspiration to those people, right? So when I got out of college, when I got my my bachelor's degree from Syracuse University, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I'm like, yo, what do I want to do? I can't work at this Salvation Army because I have no control. I have no power. It's too much restrictions, too much red tape, too many guidelines. People are overworked and underpaid. So I'm like, I can't do this. I'm going to lose passion and I'm not going to want to do it. And I'm like, what do I do? So at that time, I'm just going to work every day and I'm raising my family at the time. My girlfriend at the time, who was my current wife, was pregnant and we had our first baby while I was in college. So I'm just like providing for my family. And next thing you know, I come across Eric Thomas and a bunch of other people speaking professionally and getting paid. And I'm like, you can get paid to speak at colleges. You can get paid to speak at high schools. You can get paid to speak at corporations. You can get paid for people to talk to you, right? I'm like, wow, I did not know that job existed. I did not know that career opportunity existed. They did not tell me about this career opportunity in middle school. They did not tell me about this career opportunity in high school. They did not tell me about a professional speaking career in college, right? So as I'm learning the world and as I'm learning myself, I'm like, yo, I can do that. I can help people. I can talk to people. I can help them understand. I can help be a resource to them, right? So I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. So how can I help people? By teaching them. How can I teach them? I can have a school. I can have courses. I can have classes. I can have books. So I'm like, yo, I can do that. He got a book. I can write a book. He got an online course. I can get an online course. He goes to different colleges, different schools, different organizations, different businesses, doing trainings and workshops. I can do that too. So that's where I got my passion to start developing the business that I have, right? Ariel Inspires LLC. We do professional speaking. We do book sales. I wrote my book titled The Student Success Mindset, right? That's your boy on a book. And I'm like, yo, I can do that, right? I can do that. So I'm like, yo, I can develop classes. I can develop a curriculum. I can write books. I can teach courses. So I'm like, I can have my own school. So that's when I'm like, my mind just went bananas with all of the opportunities. So I'm like, yo, I can do that, right? So that's where this Ariel Inspires LLC, that's where the book came from. That's where the motivation to be a pastor came from, because I do want to preach the word of God. I love the word of God. I wasn't always in the word of God. Yo, I might have to do a part 4 about my story. I might have to do a part 4 about my story because there's so much more I got to talk about. But anyways, as I was saying, I'm like, yo, I can do that. I can do that, right? So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. And at the time, my girl was in Syracuse University as well. And then we had another baby. So now we got 2 babies. My wife is finishing up school. I finished up school. And I'm looking for jobs. I'm looking for jobs. Mind you, I'm working already at a job, Delta Sonic, at the car wash, right? I'm making good money at the car wash. I'm like, this is not going to last. This is not going to be sustainable for a family. So I got to get a new job. So I'm looking for jobs and jobs and jobs. And I'm getting denied left and right, left and right, left and right. Interviews left and right, left and right, left and right. No success, left and right, left and right, left and right. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. What I went to college for and I can't even use my degrees. I can't even get no job. I'm like, who sold me on the idea of going to college, getting the degrees, that you just gonna get a job and everything gonna be live happily ever after? They did not warn me about the challenges. They did not warn us about the difficulties of finding a job, getting hired, and finding a job that actually pays well. They didn't tell us that you're gonna have to climb the ladder before you actually start making real money. So I'm like, yo, this is wild. But I'm gonna do a part 4. So stay tuned, because I gotta finish the story, right? But make sure y'all check me out at www.arielmerch.com. Get your book, get your shirts. I appreciate y'all. Peace.